So now that I'm a bit further along in development, I thought I would give another look at this programming game that I've been working on for the Raspberry Pi. Again, this is in the vein of like a robocode or a logo type game. You are writing a program that controls the behavior of this little ship that moves around the screen. So I now have multiple bots running at once. Bots can slam into each other and knock each other around. Bots can see each other. You can see any bot that you have direct line of sight to. There's no radar management or anything like that. So again, these bots are written in Lua, and the stage is also controlled by a Lua program. And what that means is that there's a Lua program that defines how all the walls and starting points and things are configured on the stage, and then the program is also called each tick, so it can control things like where ships are and change their speed, and it can also decide when the match is over and who is the winner. So again, to take a look at like the first thing I tried to support with Stage API, I wanted to do something that could support having a maze. So basically on this map, the bot starts in the bottom left. There's a bunch of walls to navigate around. There's a zone in the top left that you can see, and on this stage, when you get into the zone, you win. And if you hit a wall, then you lose. So I think like the first thing a beginner programmer might do is write a bot that's hard-coded with a path through this stage, and that's a fine beginner solution. And then like you might work your way up to more complex mazes and writing a bot that can get through any maze, which is what this guy does. So now that I have multiple bots running, I looked at what I can do to the Stage API to do something more interesting for multiple bots. And so the first thing I thought would be a simple exercise would be to come up with something that can support a racetrack. So basically just adding that you can tag the zones and check when bots cross or touch or are in individual zones. You can have this racetrack so that for each bot, you check when they've touched zone 1 and then zone 2 and then zone 3. That counts as a lap. And so you can track the laps for each bot, and you can keep track of who has the most laps. And I also added that the stage program can write text to the screen so you can display that leaderboard in the middle. And so then just trying to come up with other examples of gameplay, I tried this, which I thought was going to be pretty stupid, but actually after playing with it I think it's a little bit neat. So I made a jousting stage where the zones on the top and the bottom, if you end up in either of those, then you die. And at the very beginning of the match, bots get flung at each other a little bit, so you have some extra speed going into the initial clang. And so this chaser bot just moves directly at an opponent, and so you can see that's not very interesting. It's kind of symmetrical how they bounce off each other. So then trying to write something that could do better than that, I came up with this guy who dodges the initial charge, tries to stay out of the away from the edges, tries to stay toward the center vertically, and other than that, charges at the enemy. So he beats ChaserBot pretty consistently, maybe 80% of the time. So that's cool, and I think you could do a lot better than what I've done here. So there's still some more stuff I want to pursue with the programmable stage thing, and I'm going to, but with that I moved on to trying my hand at a battle mode. So in battle mode, ships can shoot at each other, and that's something you can do in the stage code. Is you can set battle mode to true, and that will let these bots shoot at each other. So the rules I have right now are I think pretty solid, but I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of experimentation to come up with something that has some depth to it. Yeah, so I don't want to go in too much detail about the rules, but I'm trying to keep everything really simple and stay away from the many very arbitrary and unintuitive bullet power and energy and scoring formulas that Robocode has, which I don't think add really any depth to the game, but are pretty scary to someone having to learn them. So yeah, so that's a quick look at battle mode.